go. See what happens. It snows a little bit, and then the field looks green and gorgeous out at Coors Field. The team's away. Actually got rained out yesterday, of all things, in an away game. They've got a doubleheader today, but hopefully Coors Field will be prepped and the sun will be shining. I saw a snowflake there. So fidget spinners. No matter what kind, there's a million different kinds out there. We just showed you here on Good Day that they're super popular, but are they helpful for your kids to keep them focused, especially if they have issues with anxiety, or are they more of a distraction in the classroom? We've got Dr. Cheryl Ziegler, a child therapist, to break this down for us. Good to have you.
Nice to be here.
As a child therapist, is this something that you're dealing with now?
Very much so. So I think that one of the things that parents are really confused right now, what to do, right? Teachers are
I'm
like,
one of those confused parents.
Yes. I think the teachers are like, keep them out of the classroom. They're extremely distracting, ironically, and then the kids want them, and parents are like, well, isn't this for anxiety? Isn't this for ADHD? So here's a simple way to think about this. These can de-stress kids. They are helpful in terms of a way to relax them and have them talk easier with other people. So I've got fidget type things for over a decade in my office.
So these aren't new necessarily.
This isn't new at all. This exact marketing of it is, but I have, and always have, for over a decade, I had a fidget box, I called it. And so when kids come in, it's the first thing they do. They're digging through it, and they find different sensory type toys. And then they settle in, and they're fiddling around with it as we're talking. And it definitely is helpful in that sense.
But what's the problem?
The problem is that this is being sort of touted and marketed as this will help your child concentrate. So bring it to school, maybe it'll help. And teachers are saying to me flat out, this does not help. This is distracting. And so that's a teacher's perspective, and that's the relaxing perspective. But the other perspective is from the brain. If you think about it, if you keep doing this over and over, there's a dissociative piece to that. And this has become similar to having like an iPad or your iPhone or something like that, playing a video game. Kids can get sort of lost in the world. And so this is not helpful for focus. It's helpful for some kids for relaxing.
Well, you compare it to an iPad, and it's interesting because the way as a parent I manage the iPad, there are certain times my kids can use the iPad, certain places they can and can't use the iPad. Do you think something like this should be dealt with the same way?
Absolutely, I really do. I think that, if you're going to bring this to school, if they even allow it, you can say to your kid, you can play with this on the playground if you want. But this is not to be in class. This is distracting in class.
Thank you so much.
I
have such a good perspective because you're right. I'm a parent. My kids are begging for these things, and I'm conflicted. I'm confused. I don't know if I should get them for them. I know I've already told them they're not taking them to school, but that's just because that's the kind of dad I am. Dad, you're so mean. Doctor, thank you so much.
Thank
pleasure having you talk about, and those are your kids' fidget spinners, by the way.
Yes, they are. This was their idea to bring them.
Even she buys them for her kids. It's about managing them properly. And Greg, you said earlier, you grabbed it for 5 seconds, thought it was dumb, and half an hour later you were still playing with it.
Half an hour is a little exaggerated. You know what your kids would love, Kirk? You should just get them some Lincoln Logs. I'm sure that'll...
They have them.
That'll take the place.
And they don't play with them.
Water vapor early this morning showing